Hello. Okay. Please excuse that I'm sitting on my bed recording a video. I know a lot of people, when they do these like vlog style videos, they've got this beautiful background of plants and it's all so pretty. I ain't got none of that. And looking around my room, it's definitely nothing better to show. It's a big old mess, and I sure as shit am not going to clean it for a video, and I can't even manage to clean it for myself. Well, I mean, it's clean. It's just not. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. For me. Anyway, okay, let's talk about the Puffer Ultra, the Peninsula Ultra Fun Run. It was fun, indeed. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The night before, so the day before, Jax, my dear Jacqueline, one of my closest friends, very kindly ordered me to make use of her services because I was a little bit like, oh shit, I'm just gonna have to run the whole thing with my vest on and in one pair of shoes, which is not ideal because of the fact that such a large part of it is on the road, and then it switches to a more mountainous terrain, that last bit. And so ideally you should start in roadies and then switch to trail shoes. And then so I went to Jax and gave him my shoes and my running vest. I decided not to start in my running vest and to just use my belt. And she had that. She was going to meet me at Noordhoek sports field, which is the second checkpoint, and it's 23 kilometers in. Okay, so all good. Wake up, race day, 2:30, because I need to. Oh no, I didn't wake up 2:30. I wanted to. Intentions. I woke up at 3, and literally right outside my backpack is where I'm staying for the month, is where the pickup for Muizenberg was. So that was very convenient for me. But of course, there's load shedding. Probably started at 2, and there was load shedding until 4. Not ideal. I really like to have a shower before I have a long day, sweating and just long icky day like that. I like to have a shower first, so I had enough time to do that. And just feeling stoked and excited. The concern for me was always this first bit is like, just get to the good parts, Sivan, but I want to tell the whole story, right? So let's just stick to it. If you watch this long, then I appreciate it. If you don't, I understand. Okay, feeling good going into it. I'm not as strong as would be ideal. I know I can do it. I have this unshakable belief in myself that I can do anything. Because I believe it's all mental. You decide to do something, then you don't stop until you've done it. And that's how I approach these sorts of things. So that wasn't a problem. The concern was getting lost. I had done no route recce's prior, which is stressed that is of the utmost importance. I'm checking this WhatsApp group and they're just saying route recce's. Yeah, I ain't done no route recce's going into it because I don't live in Cape Town. The time that I've been here, so I've been here for 3 weeks before the race, but it's been hectic with work for me. I've had a lot on my plate, and then also I got really sick. I had the flu, the freaking flu, a week before the race, and I was a little bit worried at first that I was even going to be able to do it, but thank heavens, somehow miraculously I started to feel way better. And so I loaded it on my watch, the route. This damn watch, Garmin, gotta have some words with you. It's the Fenix 6S, which is, okay, so this, I'm pretty sure it's the best of their ranges is the Fenix range. So the latest one to come out is the 7. This is just, I mean, it's not an old watch. It's supposed to be a freaking top quality watch. Freaking top price, that's what it was. And but the battery life is disappointing, very disappointing. Okay, let me just calm down over there. Was sure that my watch would probably die on me because it's died on me during 6 peaks. So I took my cycling computer with the route loaded on there as well, just so that I would know the way, and I really wanted to log the whole thing, you know, to have it for me, what I've done. Okay, get there, see some people, hi. I'm actually chilling. They tagged me in a story. I'm like sleeping on a chair. Well, I wasn't sleeping, I was just resting, because there's just so much going on in the beginning while we're waiting to actually take off, and I didn't feel like chatting or socializing. I just kind of like wanted to go within and get ready for my day of being in the mountain. Okay, then 5:30 comes, take off. All the blah blah blahs of just before takeoff, they go through that, and then we start running, and it's just lovely. Running in the dark for the first hour, and then along Red Hill, the sun came up, and there was one guy like at the like as you're passing the township. He says, I say hello to him first because he was just like looking at us running past him, and I say hi, and he says hi. How long do you still have to go? And I'm like, 53 kilometers. So we had done 10 at that point. And he starts laughing, and he just says, good luck, man. I can see you just thinking you people are mad, which we probably are. And then we ran, and it's all good. It's all lekker. It's nice. It's beautiful. My knees started to, so I've got, my knees aren't good. I was kind of swearing at myself throughout this, thinking I need to spend more time. I do my slant board work, but I need to spend way more time on it. It's not enough, you know, just I need to strengthen it. And so it was fine. Let's speed this up. This is getting way too long. Get to the Noordhoek Sports Field, 23 k's in now. Jax is there waiting for me with my shoes, gives me the most amazing pineapple juice, and I changed the shoes. I was feeling good going in up until that point. Do the shoe change, have a peanut butter sami. Looking at, because I kept all of my there were no bins on the route or anything, so I kept all the wrappers of everything that I had. And just looking at it now, I'm like, this probably wasn't really enough to eat. So I had half a peanut butter sami there, 23 k's in. Then bye to Jax, get moving. As soon as I leave that fucking checkpoint, I felt different. I was like, yo, legs are hurting. It's only 23 k's in. I've got like 40 to go. And 40 rough ones. So anyway, go, soldiering on, get lost, get it, like not lost, but at some point there, yeah, I'm not even going to try and think now to explain at which point this happened. I think it's the old wagon trail, and I just took a few wrong turns, and some cyclist came and was like, are you sure you shouldn't go that way? He's done this in 2009 or 2010. He's like, we definitely went up there. So I'm like, but my watch is showing this way. And he says, oh, okay. And he was really nice. So it's like so many good people that had nothing to do with the race even that I saw. And they're just offering me food because they know what I'm doing. They know what the puffer is. And so they're just like cheering me on. because I was alone for most of it, and offering me bananas and bars, and like it touched my heart. I must thank that dude, even though he confused me a bit there. And then I think he was actually right, but because sometimes the watch does funny things. Okay, it shows you one way and then you go that way, and you like on the right track, and then it says off course, and then like you backtrack. So anyways, I went 100 meters down where he said he's pretty sure I should have turned left there, but he's like, okay, just just do your thing, follow your map. 100 meters down, now it says I'm off course. So I fucking ran back up the hill. That was an uphill then. Not exactly running, moving fast still. Up there, take that turn. But then I questioned it again later. I was zigzagging. I was doing some weird things there. But anyway, eventually get to a point where I know, okay, I'm on the right path, yeah. And that's when I send the video to the WhatsApp group, just saying, listen guys, because I know I'm cutting it close. And I just like jokey on the Puffer WhatsApp group, just saying, not sure if the race director told you guys cut-off times don't apply to me. Thinking, oh, maybe they'll laugh and just be lenient. Yeah, that didn't happen. So then I get to, before Bo Constantia, there was another checkpoint in the middle of the mountain somewhere, the firefighter checkpoint, and that was my favorite aid station. As I was coming up Flackenberg, this firefighter, cutie, sorry, messages are coming through, cutie dude is there, and he's like clapping for me and just so sweet. And I walk past him and say hi, and I'm like, you're a firefighter, cool. I didn't still go into it, but I try and be extra nice to firefighters. I was a volunteer firefighter for a while, and I know how amazing they are. I saw that. Big kudos to all of them. And so then I carry on going. Then I see more firefighters coming down towards me, and they're cheering and they're just going wild. And they're like, there's an aid station just a little bit higher up. You're doing great, well done. And I get up there, and they were just so wonderful. And the girl is saying, wow, you're still smiling. Just being really nice. I give them my water bottles, I ask them my flasks, I ask them, please fill this with water. And I give my little collapsible cup, and I ask for Energade in one to the one guy. And the guy he looks at me and he says, I should have told him this, but he had the most beautiful eyes. It was like Alan was his name. It was like bluey green and like bits of yellow. It was beautiful. So this older man firefighter who gave me the Energade, and then he just says, I've just got to say, you are a champion. He says, you're doing so well. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I said, I'm not sure I'm going to make cutoff though. So, and he goes, doesn't matter. He says, this is your race. This is your race. And I must just take it all in. He says, look how beautiful it is. Just take it all in. Don't forget the time. Just stop being in a hurry. And I said, thank you for that. I needed that. I was enjoying it and I was taking it all in for sure. But I was also I really wanted to make the cutoff. So that didn't change it. I still really wanted to make the cutoff afterwards, but it was nice to hear. And yeah, so then said bye to Alan and the firefighting crew. Really want to thank those people again. They'll probably never see this. This is so long. I'm gonna just put it on YouTube and have 3 views, I guess. So then leave them and carry on going. And Bakker, who is a guy that I jogged with for a little bit before coming down Black Hill, so just before we got to the 23k aid station, such a cool dude. I had told him maybe 15k's in, at one point he was like, oh, his legs, his feet are sore, he's feeling every stone underneath. And I just said, listen, you better switch those feelings off for the next 10 hours. I thought about it afterwards and I was like, like, was I rude? It just seems kind of blunt, but because that would be my approach, is what I tell myself, and I needed to tell myself that a little bit later when my knees really started like crying. I was like, switch those feelings off. So then he actually arrived as I was at the Allen firefighters aid station, and then we missioned a bit together before he picked up the pace and said, see ya. Okay, he didn't say that, but I thought he was kind of like on my level, but he kicked into another gear, and yeah, I didn't see him again. So well done, Bakker. And okay, so then I'm missioning, and I'm like, eesh. The yeah, kind of is. I think I'm actually past it already, but really try and rush to get there. Now, also at this point, I've needed to pee for the last a long time, like 2 hours maybe. I don't even know how long I've been going at this point, but for sure for the last 2 hours I had a pee, but I didn't feel like I had the time to actually stop and pee. But I also am feeling that it feels like my period has arrived, and it's a bit early. Otherwise I would have been prepared. But as I continue moving, I'm sure this is what's happening. And I'm just like, listen, if I come out bloody, we all humans. I can just say it as it is. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm going, and I'm not gonna let this stop me. So get to Bo Constantia, yeah, I don't know how many k's it is. I think it's about 38 kilometers in. And as I approach the table to give, because you get to the checkpoints and you're meant to say your name so they can tick it off and know that you've reached that, you're fine. And I get there and I'm like, Simone Sharp, and she says, sorry, you missed the cutoff. I start fucking walking backwards. I'm like, okay, just smile at her and I say, okay. Don't give her an opportunity to say anything else. I don't want them to say you cannot continue, because I wouldn't have listened, and then it just would have made it a bit sour or something. I don't know. I don't want to upset the race because I want to be here next year, right? so I just say okay, and I tiptoe backwards, leave, go find the bathroom at Bo Constantia. Confirmed, I've got my period, and I've got nothing on me to deal with that. Thank heavens. They've got this fancy paper towel, like kind of like thick. It's almost like a freaking pad, in their bathrooms, and I just shoved that down my pants. Get going. That was the only bathroom break I had in 14 hours. It's actually not good. I must have been dehydrated or something. I must have more Revive electrolytes, I think. Anyway, so now I go, and this is where the hardest and the steepest climbs start, is from Constantia Neck going up to Maclearsbeacon. So I'm just missioning and moving. Oh, my sister's calling me, but I'm just going to finish this video, stick to it, because I'm not going to record another one. Is it still recording? Yeah. And, okay, going up Constantia Neck. I'm feeling like a little bit zoned out. If I look at the video I recorded there, I can see like looking a bit gear off. But fine. Continue missioning up. As I get to the overseer's cottage, I'm looking in the distance, and you can see like the backside of Table Mountain, where I'm heading to Maclearsbeacon, and I can see cloud. It's moving. It's going to be windy and fuzzing cold up there. And I'm like, shit, it's risky. This is risky. No, but I know my way around Table Mountain, and I feel confident. You know, I spend a shitload of time in the mountains, and I know how to handle myself. If there's like, I can handle myself. So I do feel confident in that whatever's kind of thrown at me, I can adapt and I can deal with it. I don't panic. So I can see it's going to be unpleasant, but decide that it's fine for me to continue. And I do think about the fact that I've signed the indemnity form, and I'm continuing on my own, at my own risk. So the race has no part in what I'm doing from that point on. Keep moving. As I get closer to the top of the mountain, it comes in thick cloud. Yeah, it's still kind of okayish going up Nursery Ravine, and then a while before Maclear's Beacon, which is the highest point in Table Mountain. It's 1,037 meters above sea level. Shortly before that, it's like it gets windy and cold. Yeah, you can't see much in front of you. You can see a couple of feet in front of you, but that's about it. So then I get to Maclear's Beacon, and I manage to take my phone out, because what happens is my shoulders freeze. So I've got like the arthritis in my clavicle and like bones over here, and then my shoulders have the vascular necrosis. I'm not sure if this is why it gets affected so drastically in the cold, or if it's just the way I am. I don't remember it when I was much younger, but it's the way it is now. It's like it aches. It gets very cold up here. I kind of like struggle to move, and the same thing happens in my hands. I can't move my fingers much. I can't operate my phone. But I managed to just swipe up, take a video at Maclear's. Still full of joy. You can see it in the video. I'm happy as can be. Then shit gets real, brew. Shit gets real. Like, from Maclear's to Platteklip Gorge, it's what, 2.5 k's or something. But it was the wind just had a life of its own, and it was threatening to blow me over. I so badly wanted to take a video out and record, but I was not like, I didn't have it in me. To see how the fynbos and everything was, the reeds were moving in the wind, and it looked like something out of a movie. And it's cold, so I really want to get off that mountain as soon as possible. So I don't have, there's no more jog in me. This is now all a fast walk. Get to the Platteklip descent, start going down, and I see tourists making their way up, and I'm like, I find myself thinking, what the fuck are these people thinking? But also you can see these people aren't prepared, you know. So first I think that, I'm like, what are these people thinking? And then I catch myself, and I'm like, I was just up there, like, what am I thinking at a lot of the things that I do? Although I do feel like I'm a bit better prepared in that. But I'm wrong to say that, you know. I can't judge them for doing that. They just, yeah, they looked cold and like they had no idea where they were going or what they were doing. A few groups like this, eh? Anyway, as I'm making my way down, there's one man who stood out that started going up. Beautiful man. Jim was his name. And so he's going up to say hi to him, and I carry on going down. And then a bit lower down, he's now coming down. So I think he was just, you know, going up and down. And as I yeah, so I'm going down, and then he catches up to me again. Can't remember how we started chatting, but we started chatting. And he was just so nice. And he can see my knees are hurting. I'm sorry, I mustn't read messages as they come through while I'm recording this video. So then we start chatting, and he's nice. And then he goes off, and he's faster. And at some point, it doesn't even matter why, I don't know why I'm saying this, but now I've already started speaking about it. So then he was sitting down, and I said something to him again, and he also offered me, he was like, do you need a bar, do you need, like, I've got a banana, have you got something to eat? I was like, I'm fine, because I had bars, lots of Endurin bars on me, and gels, and yeah. But I felt like that section, you know, sometimes when I imagine doing a hard thing, I picture the worst, and I'm like, I'm gonna get so much shit thrown at me, and I'm just gonna freaking keep on going. Like, I literally imagine hard shit happening, beyond the doing of the hard shit. I imagine more hard shit being thrown at me, and like I imagine, without fail, I always imagine this before going into something, and I see myself getting past it, moving through it, continuing, never stopping, never quitting, right? So I got that with that weather. It was like, I can't quite describe how gnarly it was up there, but it was gnarly. And anyway, eventually, it was, the thick cloud covered about half of Table Mountain. So eventually I get out of that, and I can feel my body start to feel alive again. Hit Tafelberg Road, and then it's, I don't know what, 7Ks of, no, it was 7 from 13 Peaks to there to Signal Hill. So this is just shortly before where you take the turn. So it's like maybe 6Ks, and then you need to start detouring down. So now I think I'm over the worst, and now I just have this road section and then that down trail section to get to the finish. My watch has died along the Platteklip descent, so I'm not sure how many Ks I have left to do at this point, but I'm guessing about 10 in total. And so get to Signal Hill Drive, and some guy in a car comes driving up, and he stops the car, and he's like, I just packed up the aid station there. I'm like, okay, I knew that. I was expecting no aid stations after Bo Constantia, and I didn't get any. So I'm like, okay. He goes, do you want a lift to the finish? And I couldn't even believe this man asked me this. Like, does he think I've come that far to only come that far? It was like, I was gobsmacked that he could even offer me a lift at this point, when I've got over there probably not more than 6Ks left. So I'm like, no thanks. And he looks at me, he's like, you're not gonna make, and I knew he was about to say cut off, but he looked at me and realized there's no point, so he's just like, okay, well, whatever. So I'm like, thank you anyway. Almost can't believe that somebody who's involved in a race like that, people who enter this race, we're not exactly like normal. Like, I almost couldn't believe that somebody would think somebody would tap out at that point. Yeah, doesn't know me. So I carry on, and I get to the trail turnoff at Signal Hill Drive, where you go down to then skirt your way around Signal Hill to get to Greenpoint Stadium, where you finish. And the guys there, they were cool. So that man must have been part of the aid station that I first spoke to, and now the others were there. Everything was packed up, and he says, oh, sorry, we've packed up everything. I'm like, no, it's cool. And I explained, I said, I've been rogue since Bo Constantia, and they start laughing. They're like, "You're a rogue runner." So that was like that was the vibe I appreciated. And they say, "You go get it, girl." So I go get it, and I'm making my way down the trail. Don't even make it 15 meters, and they start whistling and shouting. They're like, "Stop, stop, stop." One comes running down to meet me. He says, "We've just been notified there's a mugger down there." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Because I'm like, I can't stop. Because some muggers were, some runners were just accosted not too long ago, apparently. So there's a mugger down there. I'm like, yes. Fuck. Now I'm like, okay. I cannot stop. I cannot stop. So I say to him, I understand that whatever I choose to do is at my own risk now. You guys have no part in this. And I ask him, "Are you going to the finish?" I start taking off my watch, because I'm like gonna give him my watch. I'm gonna give him my phone. He says he's not going to the finish, but in any case, he can't do that, because it's almost like condoning what I'm about to do. He just says, "Listen, I can't stop you, but it's not a good idea for you to go down there." So I say, "I understand." I said, I'm a mean chick, so I understand, and I yeah, it's on me. Whatever happens here is on me. So I take my phone, shove it down my bra, like try and hide it. Take my watch off, put it down my pants, not too low down, because we already know what situation is down there. So I put it, like inside underneath my belt, because these are probably my two most valuable items, well, on me anyway. And yeah, so I hide that, and pick up a rock that I can use if it comes to that, but really hope it doesn't. Take my running pole out. It's sharp at the end, so I can use that to protect myself as well. And the exhaustion that I was feeling doesn't disappear, but mostly goes, and I'm on high alert. And it's like I tackle that next however many Ks to get to the finish, because that's now trailed again. You're like in the hills, and Workup is down there, and there's these old abandoned buildings there that the Scollies do live in. So it's like it's generally a bit of a dangerous area. Yeah, so not advised to go down there, but listen, I was in it. I had to finish it. And yeah, thank heavens I didn't see anyone, but it was kind of fun. I felt like I was a soldier or something, the way I had to go down there. I was on such high alert. Ready. I was ready. And eventually make it down onto the road in Greenpoint, Merriman Road in Greenpoint, and now start. And I don't actually know how to get to the stadium from here, so I'm pulling out my cycling computer, which thankfully hasn't died, and just checking the route again now to navigate. And I can feel, as I was coming down, my phone is vibrating. Somebody's phoning me. People are probably worried about me. The guy up there, and I really didn't want the guy up there to tell the race director there's someone coming down and whatever, because I'm just thinking, shit, they're not going to invite me back next year if like I'm making trouble here. I'm like, oh shit. Because I was, as far as I was concerned, I was on my own. I wasn't expecting anything from them anymore. Yeah, so anyway, so now my phone is ringing. People are trying to phone me. I'm not going to take it out while I'm still on that trail dangerous section, And then eventually when I get into Greenpoint, I feel it ringing again. I'm like, oh gosh, let me just check what's going on. Put it out. It's Jesse. It's Landboard Jesse, who's they sponsor the race, so he's like involved in it quite well, quite a lot. And pick it up, and he's like, Simone, where are you? People, there's a search and rescue team out looking for you. I'm like, oh, shit, why? And I was just like, anyway, listen, I'm around the corner, I'm fine, it's cool. And yeah, anyway, so then I get to the finish, and Liesel and Verlin, two new friends who came to the Warrior Woman evening a couple of days ago and have just shown me nothing but love and support. They met me a few days ago, and they were there they waited for hours and hours and hours to be there for me when I finished. It was like really sweet. Thank you guys. Yeah, so I get there, and of course things have wrapped up. I missed the cutoff. Like most of the people were gone. There were a couple of runners still there having beers and chatting and stuff. Yeah, I thought I was going to come back and find like the race director and Jesse there giving me shit, but neither of them were there anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Just let everyone know I was safe. And I was buzzing. Like, I felt the barman / owner, Blake, he was so funny. It's like, you've got a runner's high. Because I was so happy, and I felt okay-ish. Like my knees, it's my knees, man. It's my knees. They were, thankfully, actually, it wasn't both that was excruciating. It was the right one that gave me a lot of trouble yesterday. But today I actually feel okay. It's hurting. Going up and down stairs, mostly the down of stairs, is painful. Yeah, and I just need to rest it a bit, but other than that, I feel okay. I feel really happy. I feel proud. Yeah, you know, like I knew, you know, if I sign up for something like this, I know I will finish it because it's just the way I am, I guess. But it still feels good to have done it, and to not have let any mind demons take over at any point, because it becomes, even if we have it in us, I think, when you get dealt with different shit, it becomes easier, and just like your mind starts playing games with you, and you can then be like, okay, I shouldn't continue because of this. Okay, I just got my period. I'm like fucking bleeding down my leg. I should stop now. You don't have to stop, you know. I think we it's become the norm to take an out at different points, and it kind of becomes acceptable, and I don't think it has to be. No disrespect for people who would stop at these points, like the cutoff. I think there were a good few runners who didn't make the cutoff, and I think I was probably the only one who continued beyond that and who finished after missing a cutoff. But that's just because I don't think you should stop based on what someone else tells you. And in a race setting and an event setting, there are probably different rules that apply, and I don't want to upset the race by saying that people shouldn't listen to what the authority says. I'm more speaking of life in general, like, as in, someone tells you this is happening, should maybe not go ahead. No, decide for yourself. And for me, the decision always was that I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a good old time doing it. If I can check and check. So I'm stoked, and I'm happy. It was hard. It was very hard. And it was very rewarding, and it was a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Let's look at what I ate for the day. Okay, so First, I had, oh, dropping it, an endurance gel. How many calories is in this? 450 kilojoules. I'm not actually sure. I think it's more than 100 calories in the endurance gel. I had that somewhere along the to the first checkpoint, and I also had a slice of orange, and I had a sliver of banana bread. Okay, so that's what I ate up to 23 k's in, and then afterwards, anyway, it doesn't, like, let's not, this is way too long. Let's not say when I had things, but rather just what I had. I also had a goo that I got in the race pack. This is 100 calories, another energy gel. Cranberry and seed nougat from Endurin. Love. A date and oat bar from Endurin. These are each 211 calories per bar. I also had these Au Natural bars, 2 of those. This is 233 calories. I checked MyFitnessPal this morning, that's why I know them. So I was curious to kind of think about how many calories I had during the day. So I had 2 of those. I had this. I was shocked to find out how many fucking calories are in this, because I can eat so many of them. I love this shit. Butternut, cocoa and macadamia pack. It's 200, or is this the 233 calories? It's 200 and something calories just in one sachet. It's so good, eh? Guys, we got to be careful, because it's easy to consume a lot of those. Then I also had this that I picked up from the aid station. I haven't checked calories on this. Yeah, some cheddars. And then I had picked this up from an aid station. 2 little Snickers bars. That was it. My time on Strava, total elapsed time, according to my cycling computer, is 13 hours 38 minutes. The cutoff at the final, at the finish line, was at 6:30, which is 13 hours. So that essentially means I was 38 minutes over the cutoff time. Yeah, what else? What I wore, my funky pants, my favorite funky pants that have seen me through, sure, a lot of adventures. Yeah, it's kind of like my race uniform. This one green bra that I use, I need to cover my nips in Squirt Cycling Products Barrier Balm. I smother my toes in it, and I put it on my boobies and different places where I sometimes chafe. And yeah, then I put my Core Merino base layer on. So this is a Core Merino top as well, and I put the long sleeve on when doing something like this. Then I put another long sleeve top over because it was cold in the morning. I thought I might take that off at some point. I just stayed in the same everything, no changes, no like taking off a jacket, putting on it, like, so that was good, because that yeah, taking off things and repacking is never fun, and I didn't feel like I needed to. So over that, I had my rainproof jacket on, and then yeah, my running belt to start with, and then later the vest on. Only had to start a 500 milliliter flask on me, and then at the 23k checkpoint took my other soft flask, so that was 1 liter on me, up to 1 liter on me at all times. So I'd finish it and fill up with either mountain water or at the next checkpoint while I still had them, and that was enough because there's a lot of water on the mountains. And that's it. yeah, I'm happy. And if anybody has watched up until this point, 45 minutes in, I would really like to say thank you. Please comment wherever I'm going to post this. Please comment and let me know that you watched all the way through so that I can give you an extra big hug next time I see you. Yeah, challenge yourself to something, and I believe in you. I believe in me. I believe in you. I believe in us. I think we are all capable of incredible things, things that we haven't even dreamt up yet. We can do it. So just keep on dreaming, keep on finding ways to challenge yourself. It doesn't have to be like this, hey? It doesn't have to be extremely hard physical things for you at this stage. Like this was pretty hard for me. I mean, it's not like the hardest thing I've done, but it's a hard thing. My point is, it doesn't have to be things like that for you. It can be whatever you want it to be, whatever is a challenge to you. Okay, I wish you the best in it, and thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the love I get from wherever I get it. Okay, cool. Thanks. Peace.